We in this beach.
Coming at you live.
What's the rules with the language?
The first rule of Fight Club is
Know the rules.
second rule of Fight Club is
You gotta know the players.
third rule of Fight Club.
You know something? You really just gotta know the rules.
Fourth rule.
You still gotta dribble, my man.
Fifth rule.
You can look as goofy as you want.
Sixth rule. No shirts, no shoes. Seventh rule.
Justice will always be served, folks.
And the eighth and final rule.
And you gotta know the rules.
You gotta know the rules.
You gotta know the rules.
Yo, Bojko. You got an email from Dugas?
Hold on, let me check. I didn't check it up right now, but I didn't hear anything slide in, you heard? Oh, shit, yeah, I got some. Let me get on this, you heard? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Putting in my mic, you heard? Let's get it.
Oh boy, here he is. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, how we doing tonight? It's game on, I guess. Huh? Yup. Listen, I want to thank you for having me on tonight. That's it.
Welcome, Bojko.
I am pleased to
The
be
first
here.
guest.
I'm honored and pleased to be here to talk about sports. I like this. I like this environment already. John, how we doing over there?
Prepare to battle, Bojko. Prepare to battle.
I haven't done research in college, and tonight was the first time I did that. I'm ready to go, all right? Look at Scro, so serious, has no idea what's going on. He's
Hey.
shook. Josh Wade, how we doing?
Not too bad. How are
Not
you?
too bad. Chilling like a villain. This is hype. I forgot my bottle of Jack Daniels. I'm going to have to go grab that.
You dumb bug.
If you ain't getting saucy, John, you ain't doing the right thing. That's what I'm going to say.
I hope that's all you say.
That's what I'm here for. I'm a talker. That's what I'm here for. You guys brought on the right guy.
Welcome to another episode of the Know the Rules podcast. It is February 20th. We got the usual cast of characters as well as our first guest appearance, Michael Bojko. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, folks. Thank you for having me. If you want, follow me at Mikello_101 on all social media. I'll be around. All right.
All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the NHL. The Montreal Canadiens have officially fired Michel Therrien and have hired Claude Julien. This is the second time in a row that the Canadiens have gone from Michel Therrien to Claude Julien, back and forth. Stupid move. All the Canadiens do is ever hire French-speaking coaches. I'm not a fan of it. Scott, we'll start off with you. What are your thoughts on the move?
I thought it was pretty funny, actually. I mean, they can't make up their mind, clearly, going with these French-speaking coaches. I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess. But that was pretty funny. It was, smack in the face to the Bruins. Love to see it, really. Claude Julien's like, nope, I'll go back to the Canadiens, see what we can do there. Got way better chance than the sorry-ass Bruins. But, Bojko, let's hear your thought on this. Claude Julien to the Canadiens.
I also think it's funny. I didn't think it was needed when the team is not playing up to their potential, which has been the situation last couple seasons. You got to make some moves, and unfortunately, it was a coach they had to let go of. But ever since their last cup appearance and their cup win, they've just been in shambles, honestly. I don't know what's going on with that, but, I'm going to throw this one to Miles and see what he's got to say, because I like what is going on over there. There's no organization in the organization.
Oh, no organization, boy. What you gonna talk about? Wins over the Sharks twice, Canadians once, and Canucks once. They're coming up. The Bruins are third in the Atlantic. Maple Leafs are 1 point behind. And the gap, which used to be 5 games in hand for the Bruins, is now 1 game in hand. The Maple Leafs drop a game, and the Bruins are in third place in the Atlantic.
Yeah, I'm in love with this new look of the Bruins. Bruce Cassidy has completely transformed the system. We went in and beat a team 2-1 last night. 2-1, that is huge. They're talking about how much offensive creativity Bruce Cassidy has brought into this team. And they're holding it down on defense, which is going to be a huge concern with him taking over head coaching duties. I think the Bruins are looking good for now. I mean, there's 25 games left in the season, but we're on the up and up. I like our chances.
We don't have to worry about the wild card, Bojko. Them sorry-ass Rangers, that's a different story, man.
I got to agree with you there, but who has to worry about something is Mr. John Nolan over there with the Devils doing almost last place things. I mean, Mr. Nolan, do you have anything to say about that? Do you have any hope for this season, if you will?
No, we're chugging along. We're still in the playoff picture. We're doing just fine.
The playoff picture?
The playoff picture. That's the kind of team we are this year. We're nothing
what
special.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? We're in the playoff picture.
You're not even in the conversation.
Teams out of the playoffs. What are you talking about?
Maybe like 6.
Or 17. It's close. I mean, if you guys know numbers. I
We're
don't know.
not 6 games out. We're not 6 games out of the playoffs. What are you talking about?
John, you're in 7th in the Metro.
Yeah, I understand, but look at the points.
So the top 3 qualify.
Yeah, I get it. Plus 2 wild cards.
7th.
I'm not seeing.
So, John, what you're saying is you're hopeful that the New Jersey Devils they are 5 games outside the playoff picture right now. You are hopeful with that, with 6, 7 other teams all battling for those last 2 positions?
Considering we're a very streaky team, can get a lot of wins in a row, but followed up with some bad losses, I think there's a shot. There's still half the season to go. We have Corey Schneider in net. He's an all-star. We got Taylor Hall. He's an all-star. We have some of the pieces. We don't have all the pieces yet, but I think we're going to make the playoffs this year.
John, the Metropolitan Division is the best hockey division this season. You have the Capitals, the Penguins, the Blue Jackets, and then the Rangers.
Woo!
What makes you think that the Devils would ever make the wild card?
I don't even understand what you're talking about. How could you count them out this early in the season? There's literally half the season left to go.
Because your team stinks.
They don't stink.
I said I can smell from here. They're not doing too hot this season, and they're not going to qualify. I'm sorry to tell you that.
I don't know.
John, who would the Devils beat to the playoff scenario?
Certainly not the Panthers, not the Maple Leafs. You got no hope.
All I'm saying is you're lucky this isn't the Premier League because you guys will get relegated at this point. That's how terrible you guys are doing.
We could talk about the Cavs Rangers. So last week, Scott mentioned that the Cavs have an easy road to the Eastern Conference Finals because they have winning records against all the teams that they're going to see in the finals. Well, Scott, actually, you are 0-2 against the New York Rangers, 1-2 against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and 2-1 against the Montreal Canadiens. Now you have one winning record against 3 of those teams. How do you think you're going to beat those teams in a 7-game series?
So you're comparing the regular season to the postseason. All right. Well, we'll certainly get our home ice advantage like we'll always get. And why I'm not concerned, like I've been saying this whole time, we got the reigning Vezina Trophy winner. We got 2 goalies that are averaging 2 goals against per game. That's amazing. When it comes to Henrik Lundqvist, he's at 2.5. Are you kidding me? You think Hank's all amazing and whatnot, way better than Holtby? Are you kidding me, Miles? He's got no shot. Holtby is the best goalie in the league with the best defense in the league.
That's what wins
That's why I'm
championships.
confident in the Caps.
We have a defense, not a fantastic defense. That's why Lundqvist is out to dry and his stats are the way they are. But if you look past last 10 seasons, if you will, his stats will beat out Holtby's in the future until he gets those 10 seasons under his belt. And with that being said, Holtby has no cups, as does Lundqvist, no cups at all. But I'm going to go with my chance with the Rangers, defeating the Capitals like we have been doing in the playoffs. Get to a cup before you guys do. As simple as that.
Scott, I think you're out of control thinking that Holtby is just hands down the best goal in the NHL because it's simply not the case. Last year, Matt Murray outshined Braden Holtby, and we all know about Carey Price being the best goalie in the NHL. And Henrik Lundqvist can give Braden Holtby a run for his money any day. So I really don't see you beating any of those 3 teams in a playoff series.
Yeah, Scott, if Holtby is the reigning Vezina Trophy winner, then why couldn't they win the Cup last year? What was the problem last year?
Well, if you haven't heard what I've been saying this whole year, we made some nice offseason signings. And Daniel Winnick, are you kidding me? That kid's flying around the ice.
Where was he yesterday?
A whole different team, a whole different year. There are many reasons why you do not see repeat champions. There are many reasons behind that because teams change from year to year. The Caps are looking amazing this year. They're bar none the best team in the league. And also, Miles, I'll give you Carey Price. Matt Murray, are you kidding me? Carey Price, he's up there with Holtby. They're definitely 1A, 1B.
Are you kidding me?
Yo, Scott,
They're
Scott,
1A,
you have
1B.
to
Are
win.
you kidding me?
Scott, you have to win one before you can win another, boy.
That's what I'm saying, boy. The people are not going to repeat. That's what I'm saying. They change from year to year.
Yeah,
Scott,
but you're
hearing
especially not
what
going to
I'm
repeat
saying.
if you don't win the first one.
You're certainly not going to repeat if you don't make the playoffs.
Scott, I have this for you. Braden Holtby, reigning Vezina Trophy champion. I don't even put him in the same league as Carey Price. You can say what you want about Matt Murray, but when it mattered last year, Matt Murray showed out. He put Marc-Andre Fleury on the bench. Braden Holtby was playing golf. What do you got to say?
Okay, you know what? Fine. I'll give you Carey Price. So where's the defense playing in front of Carey Price? Nowhere to be found. That's why the Canadiens have 70 points. Are you kidding me? Caps are all the way up there in first in the NHL. They got the best defense in the league. That's why Holtby's just killing it this year. His save percentage is up there. I think it's around 93% or so. It's probably because he's not getting good shots against them. So there. Our defense is making them look good. We got the best defense in the league. Happy about that. And then I'd love to talk about our offense. I got all the things in the world to say about Ovi, Backstrom, Oshie, Kuzi. Want me to keep going?
Bojko, what you got on playing the Capitals in the series?
I have a lot. I'm not worried about it. We've won our last 3 out of 4. Seen each other 3 out of 4 times the last couple of years. And you know how that went down. We got wins. The Blue Shirts did what they had to do. They took down Holtby. They took down Ovechkin. Not a threat to us. Not even a little bit. Lundqvist is a playoff guy as well. And we're going to do what we do. Not worried about it at all. And the season series says a lot about that.
Hey, I like you guys' strategy. Attack the team at the top while you can. I like your strategy. I see where you come from.
All I'm saying is you better hope we don't get a solid pickup on the blue line this trade deadline season, because if that happens, you guys got a lot to play for.
That is a very interesting take. I'll see you in the playoffs, I guess, if you make it.
All right,
Okay.
John, you attended a Devils game this weekend. You went back home. How'd it go?
Yeah, so went to New Jersey, went to the Prudential Center, got to catch a Devils game. The Devils beat the Islanders 3-2. It was a good game. But aside from the win, I have a pretty good story to share here. So the Devils go up 3-0, typical. The house is rocking, the people standing, everyone's having a blast. But my buddy, who's an Islander fan, is sitting about 5 rows behind me, causing a ruckus with the fans. He's not taking the beating lightly. We're sitting directly behind the net in the upper nosebleed, and next thing you know, from the top deck comes flying a Bud Light tall boy. Must have been at least half full. Goes flying down into what must have been the 20th row of the ringside section. Beer's going everywhere. People are pissed. To the official patron ejection form, and I quote, "Mr. Castronova, you have been officially ejected from the Prudential Arena. And if he tries to get back into the arena without permission, he's going to be under criminal arrest." Bye-bye, Mr. Castronova. What a story.
I'm always interested on how they enforce those bans. Like, I don't think but it's not like they have a picture like hanging there. Like, they're not going to let you in if they see you coming.
Yeah, all they have is his name. You're right. It's a pretty stupid system.
Like, they probably look
That's
it up
very
the second
true.
time around, and they're like, "You're a repeat offender. You're done."
Yeah, but he's not going back to the Pro. He's fine.
Yeah.
No one wants to go watch the Devils anyways.
There's no fans there anyway, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say, it was really nice walking into the arena, and the first thing you see, the 3 Stanley Cup banners.
And a bunch of empty seats, right?
The Devils stink.
All right, that's going to do it for NHL talk. Let's switch gears a little bit. We'll move over to the NBA, where it was All-Star Weekend. Biggest story going into it was the reunion of Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant again, but for the first time playing on the same team. Tension got broke a little early in that game. Westbrook had a pass to KD. KD threw it back up to him for an alley-oop. West bench is going crazy. They were throwing water on him, kind of cheering him. Still awkward. Those two still did not acknowledge each other. So in the end, the West took the game. The biggest point total in All-Star Weekend history. 0 defense was played. It clearly seems there's no effort to play defense at all in the All-Star game. We had Anthony Davis playing at home, was your MVP, scored an All-Star game record of 52 points. I thought this was really exciting to watch. It's the first All-Star game I think I watched in a little while, but I was entertained. It was a dunk fest going back to back to back. It was awesome. Scott, I know you took in the All-Star game. What'd you think about it?
I thought it was pretty awesome, too. I mean, I'm a big fan of college basketball more so than the NBA just because they play more defense. But at this point in the All-Star game, it was great to see no defense. There is alley-oops going, people throwing it to themselves. LeBron threw one off the backboard to himself, slammed it home. It was amazing. I love seeing the no defense and just guys getting up there.
Miles, you got anything to add?
I was disappointed. Same old shit, different day.
That's such an ignorant take.
That's so stupid.
It was awful. I can't even agree with what they said.
How was it awful?
when we were watching it.
It was amazing.
Say how
It was
It
awful.
was amazing.
It was awful.
You practically got to watch the dunk competition all over again. You know, it was the sweetest part about the NBA All-Star game was when Curry was guarding LeBron and he just threw it around Curry's left side off the backboard and alley-ooped it on his right side. Do you remember that?
That's what I was talking about. That's the dunk I was trying to talk about.
That alley-oop was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It was so athletic.
It was sweet.
Another thing that I'd never seen before, Milwaukee. No one ever watches Milwaukee basketball. The Greek Freak is amazing. That dude is insanely
He's got to
athletic.
be on TV a lot more.
Yeah,
I would love
he
to
needs
watch
get the hell
that.
out of Milwaukee. I think what overshadowed the All-Star game this morning was it came out that directly after the game when Boogie Cousins was in his post-game interview, he finds out he's traded to New Orleans, so he's staying put. He ain't getting on the team flight out. So Boogie Cousins traded during the game for pennies on the dollar. The Kings really gave him up for nothing. I think big reason is because the guy's such a huge asshole. I'm kind of happy the Celtics stayed away from him. I want a big, but I'm okay with them staying away from Boogie. So now the Pelicans got 2 former Kentucky superstar big men. We'll see how that will work out.
I just disagree. Gave him up for nothing? Are you crazy? Gave up Buddy Hield, a first-round pick, which is probably going to be in the top 5 because the Pelicans stink, and their second-round pick.
It's a protected first-round pick, so that's probably
Yeah,
gonna be
it
all
can't
right.
be in the top 3. That's all it is, protected, not top 3.
Yeah, but you get Cousins. He's a proven stud. Why would you not? Why would you not take something that's like 100%
Why would you want
guaranteed?
DeMarcus Cousins on your team? He's a cancer.
Because he's dirty. He's so good.
Awful person to build your team around. They started it right with Anthony Davis, great player. DeMarcus Cousins is a cancer.
Now, I've been questioning myself for the past 30 seconds. Do I actually agree with Miles? I do agree with Miles. The Sacramento Kings got a lot in this trade. Tyreke Evans, he is a nice point guard. Buddy Hield, he was just a top 5 pick. And they got rid of Boogie Cousins.
It's amazing that you can't see our side here. It really it's shocking. Like, how do you not see that? How do you not see that you're getting an all-star?
Because Buddy Hield, and I forgot, they also got Tyreke. Scott's right.
They got Buddy Hield, Tyreke Evans, a first round and a second round, all for Boogie Cousins. He is a cancer to anyone's team. That dude does not play hard whatsoever. He's just like Russell Westbrook, but worse. He cares about his stats, but he doesn't try as hard as Russell. I don't like the trade at all. I think Sacramento got the deal the century.
I don't know. The Kentucky connection, you never know. It could be a thing.
I don't see 2 big men playing well together on the same team in the NBA. 2 guys who are stat sheet fillers. One of them's going to take the brunt of the 2 working together throughout the whole game. I'm just not seeing it mesh well together at all.
I just think it was shocking how little the Pelicans. I don't think they had to give up that much. The original ask for Boogie Cousins was much more than what the Pelicans ever gave up. Buddy Hield isn't an all-star. They're just a bunch of role players. First round pick, yeah, it sucks, but it's protected top 3. That's all right. A second round pick literally means nothing in the NBA. None of those players ever turn out to be anything. Isaiah Thomas and Draymond.
Pick.
Hey, watch out for Melo Trimble. That's all I'm saying.
Second round picks almost never turn into players. They're always D-League players. But overall, if you read anything, the Pelicans really didn't give up all that much. I think there's a reason why it was only between the Lakers and the Pelicans coming down to get Boogie Cousins, because the rest of the teams did want to stay away from him. He's a good player. We'll see how he fits in with them. Hopefully he can shape up. I mean, I think it was his time had come in Sacramento. He had no business staying there. He couldn't get along with any coaches. Hopefully a change of scenery will open his eyes a little bit.
Definitely a big trade. What's also worthy of note, the NBA trade deadline is this coming Thursday. Last year, in the final week of the trades, 18 of 30 teams made moves. There are bound to be moves coming forward. Bojko, what do you see coming forward?
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. I think the Knicks have to do something over here in New York. But with that being said, I'm not too sure.
Bojko, what's your opinion on Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks? Do you still want him on the Knicks, or do you think he should be traded? We've heard John's take on this, but we want a more educated opinion, please.
Honestly, if I was to be management over there, I would 100% go for a trade for James Harden, because that is my guy. He gets it done. He's going to be the MVP this year, 100%. And if they can get something done with Harden over New York, that'd be an amazing deal, honest to God.
Do you think they could actually?
That happens.
But that's
you thought my take was ignorant?
There's Bojko, you let me down. There's no way.
I was honestly,
James Harden.
I was hoping for the best here. I mean, I don't know what's going on in New York, but it's not good as of right now. Changes need to be made. My Harden take was a little ignorant, but we'll see what happens. I'm not too sure what they should do, to be honest with you guys.
The only trades I've seen proposed is that the fact that Jimmy Butler might be on the move and that Indiana might move on from Paul George, but I've heard conflicting reports. I could see the Celtics making a late push for Jimmy Butler, but they're going to have to give up quite a bit for him. I'm not sure he's the player that's going to really change your fate in the playoffs, but for a big man, I think Big Ja is going to be making his way to Boston soon. You can basically get him for nothing at this point. He's not even getting play time. You get him for very little. I think that'd be a move to keep your eye out for. Not going to really make a huge difference for the Celtics, but he's another piece to add.
Yeah, I had heard before this Boogie Cousins trade that New Orleans was interested in Jaleel as well as Paul George, and then those fell through. So I could definitely see either one or both of them being on the move.
So what you're saying is they had to settle for DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, pretty much.
Makes sense.
I don't know if you're settling, dude. You're getting a perennial all-star who's only 26 years old.
He's a cancer.
Who's also the most overrated player in the league.
All right, so that's going to do it for NBA. Let's keep on hoops, college. Duke is on a 7-game winning streak. Other than that, not a lot of movement at the top. We had Gonzaga, Nova, and Kansas, the 1, 2, and 3 in the country, all taking care of business. Maryland continues to slip. They lost yesterday to Wisconsin. Miles, I'll throw it over to you. Let's hear about Duke.
Duke is on a run right now, folks. 7 in a row. The Las Vegas favorites to win March Madness right now. The Duke Blue Devils, Scott. How do you feel about that?
I've heard it all before. As we can note from the beginning of the season, they're the number 1 team in the country, bar none. It's about time they start showing up, I'll tell you one thing. Coach K, cute act, the whole back thing and the whole Duke stuff, real cute. But like I said, when he did come back, anything can happen with Coach K. It looks like they turned it around a little bit, but I'm still not seeing it. I don't think they'll be able to make a run. You may say their bench is deep with Jeter and that other freshman. I don't even know his name, but they never play, so they're not acting like they're deep. Coach K doesn't go all the way into the bench. He only plays 7, maybe 8 players. That would really concern me going into March, so I will not be picking them to go far in my brackets, that's for sure.
Scott, I have a question. So this past weekend, Duke beat Virginia, number 14, at Virginia. This Sunday, you had your chance against the top team. How'd it go?
And actually, it went pretty well until Melo Trimble stopped playing for the last 5 minutes of the game. It was actually a questionable call. If anyone saw that, I hope Melo was injured. I'm really questioning Mark Turgeon, his thinking on that. I don't know why he left Melo Trimble, Justin Jackson, and Kevin Huerter all on the bench for the last 4 minutes of the game. We were down 8 points with 4 minutes left, and it really surprised me. So I'd like to have a talk with Mark. Hey, Mark, if you're listening, call me up.
So, back to the main point. You've played 2 ranked teams this year, Purdue and Wisconsin, and they've both been losses. How you going to play in that?
Terps look good. I mean, they're a D team. They played 10, 11 players throughout the whole game, and they're set up for a run to March. We're still getting that top 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament. Can make a run there with a double bye and advancing in the Big Ten Conference tournament. Get us ready for the run to NCAA tournament, run through March Madness, and hopefully we'll see you in the Final Four.
I'm a little confused how you think that the Terps are a deep team when Melo Trimble by himself combined for more points than the rest of the team.
I think if you've been looking at Maryland basketball this year, you'll see our 3 freshmen, Anthony Cowan, run the point, Huerter, and Justin Jackson. They've been killing it this year. That was the first game this whole year that not one of them played well. I'm not expecting that to happen for the rest of the season, which is why I'm not worried going into March.
I'm saying show up in the big games, and then you can talk. But I haven't seen it from Maryland. You're not even in the top of the Big Ten. The Big Ten has 4 teams. Only 4 teams that are going to make the NCAA tournament. You got Purdue, you got Wisconsin, Maryland, and Northwestern. That's it. The Big Ten is not even on the map this year. It's a joke.
Probably not as big of a joke, though, as being the preseason number 1 pretty much unanimously, then nearly falling out of the top 25. Grayson returns to tripping people, and Coach K decides to keep playing him for the rest of the game. So there's a lot of questionable things going on at Duke this year, and there's no way that you could be happy about the performance of your team.
I'm very happy
no way.
because we have 3 weeks left of the ACC season. We are have a full head of steam. Who cares about the Big Ten this year? Everyone knows the Big Ten is irrelevant. It doesn't even matter. I will say this. A team I would not sleep on out there in the country, Oregon. Oregon has the best defensive efficiency in the country, and I would be worried if I had to line up with Oregon in the NCAA tournament. But outside of that, it would be hard-pressed to bet against the ACC.
Hey, John, all I'm saying is the Doogie's on a hot streak right now at the right time. And with that, I'm a big fan of momentum. And with momentum comes championships. And I could see them winning this tournament in March. I could definitely see that. Let's go Dookies.
Absolutely agree, Jeff.
So
Couldn't disagree more. Don't really have many facts behind that basis, do you?
I'm not a factual guy. Just like I said, momentum's a big thing when it comes to sports, and we're rolling. So, we'll see what happens in the next month.
John, the biggest thing is when I was a young little man's out there, I would watch the Big East tournament. In the Big East tournament, the winner of that tournament almost always made the Final Four. And now it's turned to the ACC is the dominant conference. Last year...
I'm sorry. Wait. No. Stop. Did you just mention the Big East winning all these championships? You didn't throw a shout-out to UConn there? Excuse me?
Hey, I'm not hating because I picked Kemba Walker to win it all. So I have nothing but love for Kemba Walker. But I'm saying, I used to pick whoever came out of MSG on top, and now it's shifted to whoever wins the ACC tournament. Last year, I took North Carolina as a Duke fan because unlike Scott, who picks with his heart, and that's why he's at the bottom of our pick'ems, I pick with my head sometimes. And actually, North Carolina got robbed in the finals. And this year, I'm seeing the ACC by a landslide in the finals.
I don't know if a robbing is a good point. Yeah, it's a buzzer beater shot, but Villanova was looking just as good as North Carolina throughout that tournament. Nevertheless, like I've been saying, Maryland's a deep team. They are made for a run at March. I don't care what seed they get in. I know they're getting in the tournament. It's only a matter of time. The Terps are going to make a deep run. Folks, put it in your brackets.
I see Maryland as a 7 seed, and I see them losing first round to a 10 seed. Something like Virginia Tech. I would put all my money on Virginia Tech. Easy money.
That's going to do it for college basketball. Moving on to the NFL. NFL offseason has just started, and the NFL never fails to give us headlines. Start off, we have Darrelle Revis getting arrested and charged with 4 felonies, including, I'm guessing, assault and battery. I think it was something like that. Felony assault, robbery because he took some dude's phone and smashed it because the kid was following him around, and also making terroristic threats. I have no idea what a terroristic threat is, but I'm going to connect the dots. Terroristic threats basically mean you're a terrorist, a.k.a. he's an ISIS. If you're the New York Jets, you get rid of this terrorist as fast as you possibly can. He's been horrible the past 2 seasons, ever since he's gotten paid. He's not worth the paycheck. Just another example of Bill Belichick being the best GM in football, getting rid of him, giving Malcolm Butler the opportunity to shine. That man's about to get paid. Darrelle Revis is about to be dumped out of the league. Miles, what do you got on Revis?
Completely agree. Darrelle Revis, when he was in New England, career years, paired up with Brandon Browner on the outside, he really revitalized his career. After coming off a solid season with the Bucs, turns around, wins a Super Bowl. But takes this big money contract, like you see too many times with these greedy NFL players, 5 years, $70 million. And then he turns around this past fall with his worst ever showing on the field. He allowed over a 90 passing rating from quarterbacks against him. He used to be a 57 rating against him. This man was too greedy. He forgot how to play.
No, Scott, see, I think there's a common link here, and I think you're going to catch this vibe. The common link is the Patriots. Why are the Patriots producing so many criminals? They're harboring the criminals. Patriots have got to get rid of these guys.
Absolutely no respect for these stupid Patriots. Get rid of them. It all makes sense what Darrelle Revis has been doing on Revis Island. He certainly hasn't been covering receivers. He's been doing ISIS things. Like, Jesus, get him off of Revis Island and get him back to America. It's not looking good. Not too sure what to say about him now, but Josh, what do you got?
I don't see how you could connect the dots with him being linked with the Patriots. You said get rid of him. We got rid of him. We said sayonara, goodbye, take your paycheck. Jets, have a nice time with him. He stinks. Bill Belichick sees the future. He's like Notre Dame. And, he saw this terrorist, and he said, get off my team. Be gone with you.
And then you get Michael Floyd the night after a DUI.
That's true. Speaking of Michael Floyd, he just began his court-mandated minimum 24-day jail sentence. So he's up in the clink. Probably going to get huge. I mean, that's what guys do in prison, right? He's starting his off-season regimen early, getting a head start on it. I'm not even sure if he's still on the team next year. I think we can re-up him. Not sure how I feel about that.
Bless Michael Floyd. He's already come on and say that he wishes to resign with the Patriots. I think the Pats would be smart to resign him for a little money because a lot of other teams won't want to deal with this. But Patriots have a history of turning around these guys. Low contracts, big plays.
No, that's what you scum Patriot fans always think. The other teams, they don't want him. They don't want him because he is a criminal, not because they don't want him, because he's a criminal.
No, that is false. They don't want him because he's a headache.
And because he's a criminal, which is why he's a headache.
No.
Well, yeah,
he's a headache. Yeah, he's a headache because he creates a bad media attention.
You got to talk about these guys come to the Patriots because other teams don't want them, and they change. There's something to be said for the Patriot way. It's a real thing. We have Martellus Bennett come in. Didn't hear a peep from him all year. He was well behaved. We had guys like Randy Moss come in, guys who had trouble throughout the league for years.
Corey Dillon
comes in. Corey Dillon, same story.
Yeah, Aaron Hernandez. You don't hear from him either until he.
Oh, you're gonna act like the Giants are all pure heart. Do you remember Plexico Burress?
Yeah, he did it to himself.
He won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, John, where is Plexico Burress these days?
Only person Plexico was shooting was himself. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, no harm, no foul.
Hey, Aaron Hernandez made an honest mistake. A man spilled a drink on him. That's what it is.
That is a sad. That is sad.
That's.
Dugas, you should.
I will not
defend.
defend Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah,
I will not allow that to be in this
Miles,
podcast.
are you kidding me?
That's going to do it for topics. Let's get into the segments. First segment, fact or fiction. This week, Kyrie comes out and says that the world is in fact flat. Miles, you have to defend your man.
And I do defend my man right here. Kyrie was the number 3 recruit, class of 2011. Bright man. Chose Duke over plenty of other schools. And Duke is consistently rated in the top 10 universities in this country. No doubt about it. This is a man who's a scholar. He did his research, and he chose Duke.
Okay.
And then didn't graduate.
Yeah, you're not educated if you think that the world is flat. You're actually just dumb, like 100% dumb as a rock. Kyrie Irving is a freaking idiot.
I'm going to chime in real quick.
Okay.
If you see a rock, you can tell it's round because you can see it. I honestly think the world's flat now that I think about it. It just makes perfect sense coming from Kyrie. It does.
Kyrie Irving is supposed to be Duke educated. He went there for a cup of coffee. I don't think he got educated whatsoever. If Duke is a stock and I'm an investor, I am selling the shit out of that because that is a huge indictment on a Duke education. That man is stupid.
Kyrie Irving played 11 games in a Duke uniform. He made the Sweet 16 in a Duke uniform. He did not do that in a Maryland uniform, in a Kentucky uniform, and a Connecticut uniform.
He certainly did not go to class in a Duke uniform. That is for sure.
That's going to take us to our next segment, Know the Rules, presented by Starbucks. Starbucks, save 15% of your car insurance in 15 minutes or less.
Starbucks, we got the meats.
All right, Miles, you want to present us with this week's Know the Rules?
So this week, I'm bringing it back to the referees. The referees officiate the games these days, and they don't even know the rules. So the score is 103 to 102. The Boston Celtics are at the United Center playing the Chicago Bulls. And Jimmy Butler is driving down the lane, pulls up. Marcus Smart straps on this defense, doesn't even touch a man's, and gets called for a foul with 0.9 seconds left. Jimmy Butler proceeds to hit both of his free throws, and the Celtics lose the game. Unbelievable. Refs, you gotta know the rules. He didn't even touch him.
As a newly crowned degenerate gambler, I was very disappointed with the result of that game. I lost a little bit of money because of that call. Was not happy. The refs got to know the rules. So, update. I'm a degenerate gambler now, on top of knowing the rules. Move on to the next one. Scott, you want to do this week's He Said What?
So, in this week's, he said, what? Gilbert Arenas went to Instagram to shout out all the women over 34. They should not be able to attend the NBA All-Star Weekend. He told them to stay home. They had their chance with Kobe and Shaq. And he said, let these younger hoes have their chance at these NBA All-Stars. Gilbert Arenas, I loved you as a Wizard, but after that, come on, man.
I heard a funny analogy that NBA All-Star Weekend is to the African-American community, basically what the Kentucky Derby is to the white community. They're busting in all these hoes into New Orleans so all these people can have a good time. And Gilbert Arenas just saying, hey, hoes getting busted in New Orleans, you best be under 34 or get out.
Because Gilbert Arenas is 35.
He's 35. He wants the young ones. Whatever ever happened to Gilbert Arenas, that man pulls a gun one day in the locker room. You don't hear from him ever again. He was one of the great shooters in the game.
Probably a good move on his part to never hear from him ever again.
I did really appreciate that his Instagram handle is No Chill Gil. Because that is aptly appropriate.
He is certainly not chill.
Let's finish up with what's on your mind. John, I think you'd like to start us off.
Folks, Girl Scout cookies are back. I was on my way home from work, coming up out of the metro, and sure enough, 2 boxes for $10. Done deal. Samoa, Thin Mint. Let's go. Girl Scout cookies are back.
You fat shit.
What is on my mind is that warm weather. This weekend we had 60-degree weather, perfect for hanging out outside, drinking, doing what you do. College, I can recall every year, first nice day on a Saturday, going outside, hanging out. It's gorgeous. All right, Scott, what's on your mind?
Josh, I couldn't agree with you more. Very excited for this warm weather. But to be more specific, I'm very excited for tennis season coming up, folks. John Nolan still has not won a single set against me. Good luck this year. It's a new season. Hey, maybe he'll win one. Probably not. I'm really looking forward to tennis season.
Folks, he's leaving out a very important part. We're in the preseason at the moment. Seems to forget about the preseason. We were playing a couple of days ago. I take the 6-5 lead in the set. He ties it up 6-6. I lose in the 7-point tie break. It was a tough loss, but I'm coming for him this season.
So what he just said was he's still not victorious at all.
Still has not won a set.
All right, Miles, what's on your mind?
So this year, I'm quite disappointed in our former head coach, Adam Clinton. Normally, he'll give you the heads up about the holidays, say, hey, middle of April, we got the alumni game. This year, John Nolan and I had to book a trip to North Carolina, not knowing if I would be able to be in attendance. Well, the problem with that is this year I am reffing the alumni game that most people are not aware of. I cannot wait to be on that field beside Coase and say, Coase, you play for Stockade, boy, you can't even hit a man in his feet.
You better give Coase a red card. Give him a straight red. Get that man off the
Just
field.
blow the whistle to start the game, blow the whistle to stop the game, and kick him, boot him.
Yeah.
I plan on being very impartial, no bias, but I will be running my mouth the entire game. Reffing that like I'm a chef in that. Bojko, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind this week, ladies and gentlemen? March 4th, 2017. That is the day of more life, more vibes. My boy, Drizzy Drake, dropping his playlist album, so-called. And I'm very excited for that. Also, a big happy birthday to my girl, baby girl, Rihanna, Riri. I love you. Believe that, folks. That's all I got on my mind at this point.
All right, let's finish off the episode with our weekly pick'ems. Fortunately for me, I had a perfect week last week. I'm now up to 10-6. Miles is still at the top. He's at 13-3. Scott had a rough week last week. He's fallen to 7-9. Big week for John Nolan. He has improved to 9-7 after previously having the worst record. So good on you, John. Let's see if you can keep it up this week. All right, let's start off with the NHL. We got the Edmonton Oilers at the Capitals on Friday. I'm going to take the home team. I got the Capitals. Scott?
I definitely have the Capitals, no doubt.
Miles?
It's hard to pick against the Caps at home. Caps.
John?
You really hate rooting for the Caps, but you'd be stupid not to pick them occasionally, Caps.
All right, let's move on to college basketball. We have the Duke Blue Devils at the Carrier Dome going against the Syracuse Orange. It's just a tough one. I don't know, Syracuse is beating some good ACC opponents, but Duke's hot right now. I think I'm going to take Duke on the road. Miles?
Yeah, they know. Duke.
John?
It's just one of those games. Anything can happen in these games. Going with Cuse.
Unbelievable! It's not unbelievable.
Believe that.
You are out of your mind. If you've looked at Cuse's schedule this year, this is how you lose pick'ems.
No, it's just not how you lose pick'ems.
What, picking against Miles' favorite team?
No. This is a Scott Crow favorite. Picking your heart against your head.
Duke lost to NC State. They can lose to Cuse.
Oh, my God.
Ignorance.
Keep talking, boy.
All right, Scott.
I do not have Syracuse winning this game.
Oh, so Scott, who do you have?
Next game, Josh.
All right, NBA now. We got the Boston Celtics taking on the Toronto Raptors. Eastern Conference matchup. Celtics on the road against Toronto. I hate to say it, but I think I might take Toronto on the road. They got Ibaka now. I'm going to go Toronto. Miles?
I stay true to my city, Celtics.
John?
Really interested in the Ibaka trade. I'm going Toronto.
And Scott?
Ibaka is going to swat Isaiah Thomas. Raptors.
All right, and then we have last one now. Champions League matchup. Leicester City versus Sevilla. I couldn't tell you a single thing about either team, but I'm going to go with Sevilla because Leicester is not in form this year. Miles?
I can't believe it's come to this. People don't even want to talk about the most popular sport in the world. But hands down, Sevilla's got this. No problem.
Scott?
I don't know either of these teams. Sevilla.
And John?
I think it's a really weird thing that soccer does where the Champions League is so far away from the previous season that you get a situation where Leicester wins the league and then now they stink and they're in this amazing tournament, Sevilla.
All right, so that's going to do it for this episode. Follow us on Facebook, like our posts, share it, tell your friends. Make sure to follow us on YouTube as well as SoundCloud where you can listen to every episode. Tune in next week. That will do it for us. Good night. Hey, spilling a drink on another man is a murderable offense. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Going in on the verse, cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that ain't making it, my folks locked down. I never went nowhere, but they saying Luda's back. Blame it on that contour, the hood call it Luda Yak. And I'm on this foolish track, so I spit my foolish flow. My hands go up and down, like strippers' booties go. My verses still be serving, tight like a million virgins. Last time on a college remix, now I'm on the original version.